Welcome, adventurers. What's going on, guys? My name is Cody. This is Taking 20, a channel about all things role-playing games. And today, I want to talk about the possibility of a new Dungeons and Dragons movie. Seriously. I hope you guys are ready. Let's get started. Alright, so before I get started, I want to give a quick shout out to all the kick-ass Taking 20 patrons over on the Taking 20 community. Thanks, guys. You guys kick ass. I appreciate the support, and thank you for making these videos possible. Like, it means a lot to me. I appreciate it. And if you guys enjoy what I do here and you want a quick, easy way to support the channel, links are in the description. I'll leave it at that. But for now, let's jump into this Dungeons and Dragons movie that is really starting to, like, pick up steam. Alright guys, I am in no shape, form, or fashion media. I'm not a news channel. I'm not calling to confirm stories and rumors and sources. That's not what I'm doing here. So I'm simply taking the rumors that are continuing to pick up steam, and it really is starting to look like we might be getting a new Dungeons and Dragons movie soon. Now, in addition to all the rumors that have been kind of going around on the internet, like Ian World and other places that are reporting on actual like movies and stuff like that, or tracking different studios, like there's been a lot of rumors that there could be a new Dungeons and Dragons movie. And then we get this tweet from Joe Manganiello. Manganiello. Joe tweeted this. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Not because it is like confirming kind of, or at least helping spread these rumors that there is a new possible Dungeons and Dragons movie, but that is a major implication that the new D&D movie could be, in fact, Dragonlance. Right from the jump, I gotta tell you, this totally threw me off. Like, I did not expect that Wizards would ever consider going this route. Or in fairness, it could be a studio, you know, telling Wizards this is the story we want to tell. But whatever. It really shocks me that they would consider going the route of a book, a big, thick, heavy book, a trilogy. That is really surprising to me. And this has massive implications for what this could mean for us as far as the type of movie that we're going to end up getting. You know, when I was hearing rumors that there might be a new Dungeons and Dragons movie, I was thinking, hey, they're going to write something for the silver screen. They're going to write something for the movie. They're going to write a new story that is designed to fit nice and neat in a, you know, 80-minute, 90-minute movie that they can tell a whole complete story. But Dragons of Autumn's Twilight, the Dragonlance Chronicles, is not that. It is not a crisp, clean movie that you can tell in 90 minutes. It's a trilogy. So right off the bat, that tells you a lot about the type of movie that this could be if this project actually comes to fruition. I very much doubt that anybody is going to sink in $10-20 million into a trilogy. You're talking about a much bigger movie. You're talking about a massive studio that's going to probably have to produce this. This is going to get something that is going to have to be a lot more commercially appealing, far beyond just the tabletop role player audience that is already in existence for Dungeons and Dragons. And all of this points to, I think, a major win for us as viewers on a new movie if it's going to get a big budget treatment. You know, I do wonder if the Dragonlance Chronicles was something that they were thinking of right from the jump, or if they really weighed their options. Because by my count, I really count about 3 main stories that they could probably tell for if they were going to do like a trilogy, if they were going to do a set of books, in essence, that have already been bestsellers. If they were going to tell one of those stories, you really only have Dragonlance Chronicles. Then you have probably the Crystal Shard. That's probably the easiest one to get into, but that's back in Forgotten Realms. And then, of course, you could always talk about Elminster. The Spellfire trilogy, admittedly, I have not read, mostly because all the reviews that I read online when I was trying to decide where I wanted to go with my next set of Forgotten Realms novels, or if I wanted to jump back to something else, the reviews were terrible with how the book ended. I did get some spoilers on there. I'm not going to give that away in case you guys are interested. But in essence, it's not a great story. So that's probably out of, that's probably not something that they could have gone with. Now, the other obvious choice is the Crystal Shard. Now, this is really, really interesting because I think that was probably their two choices if they wanted to go one way or the other, making a trilogy on their IP. With the Dragonlance Chronicles, it does lend better to a more traditional epic, where you kind of have this overarching theme that ultimately ends in a much more satisfying way. The difference between that and Crystal Shard is the Legacy of the Shard, or the Crystal Shard, Streams of Silver, Half-Leech Gem, that trilogy. It transitions from that kind of epic fantasy story into something much more personal, and the implications are much smaller. So I do think that if they wanted to tell a big grand story for, hey, this is what Dungeons and Dragons is, these are the adventures that people are playing, they're not sacrificing kids, they want to save the world, they want to go be heroes. I do think that the Dragonlance Chronicles lends much better to that type of story, to that type of trilogy, probably. Man, I have no idea what they're going to have to cut, but there's no way that they can tell this story without cutting chunks, good-sized chunks out of this story, in my opinion. I mean, they might totally prove me wrong, but to really do this movie justice, they're going to have to cut large chunks of the story to help let some of the other scenes be more impactful, I think. That's just my opinion. Although I cannot wait to see what dragons look like in this movie. I really, really hope they do a really good job of it. With technology advancing, Lord of the Rings doesn't have any type of dragons in it, so I'm really, really looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing what Dragon Fear looks like from a director standpoint. All right, let's talk about the game. What does this mean for us as tabletop players? What does this mean for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition? Well, frankly, I think it means a lot. I think it has huge implications that they are looking at Dragonlance. This August at Gen Con, Paizo is going to release Starfinder, their new science fantasy game, and I think Wizards of the Coast will probably start to pick up speed on how often they are doing these books, just in order to compete. But again, this is pure speculation. It's just what I think. But it does make sense for in my mind, for them to start doing this, a lot like the way that you see Xbox and PlayStation kind of, when one of them jumps, the other one kind of responds, starting the next console war. I think you could see something very similar to that here in the tabletop role-playing game world. In addition, in a recent podcast on Wizards' website, Mike Mearls was talking about settings and that they were on the forefront of their minds and that they wanted to do more things with other settings. So I think we could be poised for a whole plethora of settings kind of coming out all at once to everybody, especially since people have been clamoring for it for so long, and the Wizards of the Coast team has kind of done a lot of content on the Unearthed Arcana and could be looking to open up some of these settings, especially to build some hype while Paizo is in the middle of their Starfinder infancy. So it does look like we could be heading towards not just a new Dungeons & Dragons movie, but a new trilogy of Dungeons & Dragons movies. And that's fantastic. Honestly, I always wanted them to do the kind of Peter Jackson treatment to the Dragonlance Chronicles, because Raceland is one of my favorite characters, and I'd love to see him get a real awesome spotlight in a really well-produced movie with a big budget. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it turns out great. I hope we get new settings along with the movie, and I really hope they open up Dragonlance before the movie is really announced or released. I really feel like they're going to be doing some new settings soon, even if it's to gauge the water or to build hype. I really feel like those are right around the corner for us, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. So I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think? Are they totally going in the wrong direction, trying to like convolute the whole process by going with a new trilogy? Or should they be just writing totally brand new movies that are designed for, for cinema? What do you guys think they should do? Is it smart? Are you excited? What do you think about a new Dragonlance trilogy coming to the silver screen? If this is your first time here and you love role-playing games as much as I do, I'd love to have you subscribe. I'll be putting out new videos every week on DM tips, player tips, tutorials, and more. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, just hit that subscribe button down below and come join us. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cody, and may your games be filled with awesome memories and even better friends. I'll catch you next time.